Hello, everyone. Welcome to day 6 of our 7-day English speaking challenge. Today, I'm going to share a simple story. This story is funny, but it also has a great message. Don't give up and keep trying even when things go wrong. It's perfect for beginners. So listen carefully, repeat after me, and practice your speaking and listening skills. The Adventures of Tim and His First Job. Once upon a time, there was a boy named Tim. Tim was 18 years old. He was excited because today was his first day at his new job. But Tim was also a little nervous. You see, Tim was not very organized. He always forgot things. He once forgot his shoes before leaving the house. But this time, Tim was ready. He had his shoes on, his bag packed, and his new shirt ironed. In the morning, Tim's mom shouted from the kitchen, "Tim, don't forget to eat breakfast." But Tim was in a hurry. "No time, Mom. I'll be late," he said, and ran out the door. He grabbed his bag and rushed to the bus stop. When Tim got on the bus, he realized something terrible. "Oh no," Tim said, feeling his pockets. He forgot his wallet. But Tim didn't panic. He smiled at the bus driver. "Sir, it's my first day at work. Can I please ride for free today?" The bus driver laughed and said, "Okay, but don't make this a habit." Tim thanked the driver and sat down. Finally, Tim reached his office. His boss, Mr. Brown, greeted him with a big smile. "Welcome, Tim. We're happy to have you." Tim smiled back, but he was still nervous. What if he made a mistake? What if he was not good at the job? The first task was simple: make coffee for the team. How hard can it be? Tim thought. He walked to the kitchen, found the coffee machine, and started making coffee. But Tim didn't know much about coffee. Instead of adding 1 spoon of coffee, he added 10. When the team drank the coffee, their faces turned red. "Tim, this coffee is so strong," his boss shouted, but with a smile. Tim turned red too. "I'm sorry, Mr. Brown. I'll try again." Next, Tim had to send an important email to a client. His boss said, "Tim, make sure you are very polite in the email. Use 'Dear Sir' and 'Thank you.'" Tim nodded and started typing. But instead of typing "Dear Sir," he typed "Dear Fish" by mistake. The client replied, "Why did you call me a fish?" Tim's face turned red again. "Oops," he whispered, and his boss laughed. "Don't worry, Tim. We all make mistakes." At lunchtime, Tim was so hungry because he didn't eat breakfast. He saw some food on the table and thought it was for everyone. So Tim ate it all. But then he saw a note. "This food is for the boss's birthday party." Tim's eyes went wide. "Oh no," he said to himself. He had eaten the boss's birthday cake. Later, the boss came in, looked at the empty table, and asked, "Where's my cake?" Tim was so nervous. He stood up and said, "I'm sorry, Mr. Brown. I didn't know it was your cake. I ate it all." Tim expected to get fired, but Mr. Brown laughed loudly. "Tim, you are full of surprises. Don't worry. Next time, just ask before you eat." At the end of the day, Tim felt tired but happy. He made a lot of mistakes, but he also learned a lot. He learned to check his coffee, double-check his emails, and always ask before eating food. As Tim was packing up his things, Mr. Brown came to his desk. He put a hand on Tim's shoulder and smiled. Tim, I know today didn't go as smoothly as you hoped, but you did well for your first day. Everyone makes mistakes. What matters is that you keep trying and learn from them. Tim looked up, still a little embarrassed about all the mistakes he had made. Thank you, sir. I'm sorry about the coffee, the email, and the cake. I just wanted everything to be perfect. Mr. Brown laughed. Perfect? Tim, nothing is ever perfect on the first try. Perfection comes with practice. And let me tell you a secret. Even I made a lot of mistakes when I started here. Once, I sent an important document to the wrong client, and that client thought we were making a deal with them instead. It was a huge mix-up. Tim's eyes widened. Really? You made mistakes too? Oh, yes, Mr. Brown said, smiling. Everyone does. But that's how we learn. Don't worry, Tim. Tomorrow is a new day, and you'll do even better. Now, go home and get some rest. Tim felt a wave of relief wash over him. He realized that making mistakes was normal, even for his boss. He gathered his things and said goodbye to Mr. Brown. The journey home. Tim's bus adventure. Tim left the office feeling a mix of emotions. He was tired but also proud of himself for surviving his first day at work. As he walked to the bus stop, he thought about everything that had happened. Well, at least I didn't break anything, except maybe Mr. Brown's birthday cake, he chuckled to himself. When Tim got to the bus stop, he realized something important. He still didn't have his wallet. Oh no, not again, he thought. How was he going to get home? The bus driver from the morning shift wouldn't be here now, and he doubted anyone would let him ride for free twice in one day. Just as he was thinking of walking home, he saw an old woman struggling with her bags. She looked like she needed help. Tim quickly forgot about his own problem and walked over to her. "Excuse me, ma'am. Do you need help with your bags?" he asked. The woman smiled warmly. "Oh, thank you, young man. That's very kind of you. These bags are so heavy." Tim picked up the bags, and they started walking toward the bus stop together. Along the way, they talked. The woman told Tim about her family, her grandchildren, and how she used to be a schoolteacher. "You know," she said, "I used to tell my students that it's okay to make mistakes. That's how we learn and grow." Tim smiled. "That's exactly what my boss said to me today. I made a lot of mistakes at my new job." The woman chuckled. "Well, then you're on the right track. Keep making mistakes, and soon you'll be a master." When they got to the bus stop, the old woman reached into her bag and pulled out her bus card. "Here, young man," she said, handing it to Tim. "Use this to get home. You helped me, and now I'll help you." Tim was surprised. "Oh no, I can't take your bus card," but the woman insisted. "It's okay. I have another one at home. You've been kind to me today, and I'd like to return the favor." Tim hesitated, but finally accepted the card. "Thank you so much. I'll bring it back to you tomorrow," he said gratefully. The woman winked. "No need, dear. Just keep helping people, and the world will help you back." When Tim finally got home, his mom was waiting for him at the door. "Tim, how was your first day?" she asked, smiling. Tim smiled back, feeling much lighter. "It was interesting," he said. "I made a few mistakes, but it wasn't so bad after all." His mom laughed and hugged him. "I'm so proud of you. Mistakes are just part of learning." Tim sat down at the kitchen table, and his mom brought him a big plate of his favorite food, spaghetti and meatballs. As he ate, he told his mom all about his day. The coffee disaster, the email mix-up, and of course, the birthday cake incident. His mom couldn't stop laughing. "You ate the boss's birthday cake?" "Oh, Tim, that's hilarious, but I'm glad Mr. Brown was so understanding." Tim nodded. "Yeah, he was really nice about it. He even told me that he made mistakes when he started his job." As Tim finished his dinner, he realized something important. "You know, Mom, today wasn't perfect, but I learned a lot. I think tomorrow will be better." His mom smiled and ruffled his hair. "Of course, it will be. You've already taken the hardest step starting." The adventures of Tim and his first job. The next day, the sun peeked through the curtains of Tim's bedroom as his alarm clock blared its usual morning tune. He groaned softly, rolling over to hit the snooze button. But then a thought popped into his head. "Wait, today is a new day." His eyes opened wide, and he sat up quickly. Today wasn't just any day. This was his second day at his first job, and he was determined to make it a good one. Tim jumped out of bed with a newfound energy. "I won't be late today." "No way," he told himself. Yesterday had been full of embarrassing mistakes, but Mr. Brown had encouraged him, and Tim was ready to take on the challenge of becoming better. After a quick stretch, Tim went to the bathroom to brush his teeth. As he stood in front of the mirror, he gave himself a pep talk. "You got this, Tim. Yesterday was just the beginning. Today, you're going to be a superstar." He gave himself a big, confident smile, even though a little toothpaste was still on his chin. After his bathroom routine, Tim headed downstairs to the kitchen. His mom was already up, making her famous scrambled eggs. "Good morning, Mom," Tim said cheerfully as he sat down at the table. "Good morning, honey," his mom replied, placing a big plate of eggs, toast, and bacon in front of him. "I made sure you have a big breakfast today. You'll need lots of energy for your second day." Tim's stomach growled at the sight of the food. Yesterday, he had rushed out the door without eating anything, and by mid-morning he had been starving. Not today. Today, he was prepared. He quickly dug into the food, savoring every bite. "So, how was your first day at work?" his mom asked, sitting across from him with her own cup of coffee. Tim smiled, chewing thoughtfully. "It was interesting. I made a lot of mistakes, but Mr. Brown was really understanding. He said it's normal to mess up when you're just starting." His mom nodded. "That's right. Everyone has to start somewhere. The important thing is that you keep trying." Tim grinned. "That's what I'm going to do today. No more coffee disasters or sending emails to the wrong person." They both laughed, and Tim felt a lot more relaxed. As he finished his breakfast, he checked the time. "Okay, I've got plenty of time today. No rushing," he said to himself. He grabbed his wallet from the kitchen counter and put it in his pocket. No more forgetting it at home either. The commute, a fresh start. With his stomach full and his wallet safely in his pocket, Tim grabbed his backpack and headed out the door. The sun was shining brightly, and the air was cool and fresh. It was the perfect day to start fresh. Tim walked to the bus stop, feeling a lot more confident than the day before. He even smiled and said good morning to the neighbors he passed on the way. When he arrived at the bus stop, he saw a few familiar faces from yesterday, including the bus driver. The driver gave Tim a friendly nod. "Morning, kid. You got your wallet today." Tim blushed a little but smiled. "Yep, got it right here," he said, patting his pocket. "Good. Don't want to make a habit of free rides, huh?" the driver teased, but in a kind way. Tim laughed and climbed onto the bus. As he found a seat near the window, he took a deep breath and looked out at the passing streets. Today already felt better. He wasn't nervous anymore, and he had learned a lot from his first day. When Tim arrived at the office, he felt a sense of determination. He was ready to show everyone, especially himself, that he could handle the job. As he walked through the front doors, he noticed that the receptionist, Sarah, was at her desk again. "Good morning, Sarah," Tim said brightly. Sarah looked up from her computer and smiled. "Good morning, Tim. How's your second day going so far?" "Much better than yesterday," Tim replied. "I had breakfast. I didn't forget my wallet, and I'm ready to get to work." Sarah laughed. "Sounds like you're off to a great start. Have a good day." Feeling even more confident, Tim headed to his desk. It was still early, and the office was just starting to fill up with people. As he sat down, he took a moment to organize his desk. He made sure everything was in its place. No more coffee spills today. He also checked his email carefully before sending anything, remembering the mistake he made yesterday. Just as Tim was settling in, Mr. Brown walked over to his desk. "Good morning, Tim. How are you feeling today?" he asked. Tim smiled. "Much better, sir. I'm ready for anything you've got for me." Mr. Brown chuckled. "That's the spirit. Today, I'd like you to help with organizing some files on the computer. We have a lot of old documents that need to be sorted into the right folders. It's a simple but important task." Tim nodded. "Got it, sir. I'll get started right away." He opened up the computer and started working through the files. At first, it seemed a little overwhelming. There were hundreds of documents, and they all needed to be categorized. But Tim took his time. He checked each file carefully, making sure to put it in the right folder. As the morning went on, Tim found that he was actually enjoying the work. It felt good to focus on something and see the results of his efforts. Every time he organized a file, it felt like a small victory. By mid-morning, Tim had already sorted through a large chunk of the files. He felt proud of himself. No mistakes so far. He decided to take a short break, so he got up and headed to the break room. Inside, he saw a few of his co-workers chatting and laughing. Tim grabbed a cup of water and sat down at a nearby table. Just as he was about to sip his water, one of the co-workers, Emily, came over. "Hey, Tim, how's your second day going?" she asked, smiling. Tim grinned. "It's going really well. I've been organizing the files, and so far, no disasters like yesterday." Emily laughed. "I heard about the cake incident. Don't worry, everyone's had their oops moments around here. My first day, I accidentally deleted an important document, and I thought I was going to get fired." Tim's eyes widened. "Really? What happened?" "Oh, Mr. Brown was really nice about it. He told me the same thing he probably told you. Everyone makes mistakes. The important part is that we learn from them. Emily said. Tim smiled, feeling even better. Yeah, that's exactly what he said to me. I guess I'm not the only one who's had a rough start. Emily nodded. Not at all. You'll get the hang of it in no time. Just keep doing your best. After finishing his break, Tim returned to his desk, ready to continue his work. The rest of the morning flew by, and before he knew it, it was lunchtime. At noon, Tim headed to the cafeteria with his co-workers. He had packed a sandwich and some fruit, and as he sat down to eat, he listened to the conversations happening around him. So, what's everyone's weekend plans? One of the co-workers asked. I'm going hiking, another said. There's this beautiful trail just outside of the city. Tim chimed in. That sounds amazing. I haven't been hiking in a while. Maybe I'll try it this weekend. Emily, who was sitting across from him, smiled. It's a great way to relax after a long week. You should definitely try it. As they chatted, Tim felt more and more like he was part of the team. The nerves from yesterday were gone, and he was starting to enjoy the little moments, like lunch with his new co-workers. It was a nice break from the morning's tasks, and he felt recharged for the rest of the day. After lunch, Tim returned to his desk to tackle his next task, sending out a few important emails. He remembered the email disaster from yesterday and took a deep breath. Okay, Tim, you've got this. Just double-check everything before you hit send, he reminded himself. He carefully typed out the emails, making sure to address them to the right people. He even reread each one twice to make sure there were no mistakes. When he was finally satisfied, he hit send and leaned back in his chair with a sigh of relief. No mistakes this time, he thought, feeling proud of himself. At the end of the day, Mr. Brown stopped by Tim's desk once again. Tim, I just wanted to say that you did a great job today. You're getting the hang of things, and I can see you're working hard, Mr. Brown said with a smile. Tim beamed with pride. Thank you, Mr. Brown. I'm really trying my best. Mr. Brown nodded. I can see that. Keep up the good work. And remember, if you need any help or have questions, don't hesitate to ask. Feeling motivated, Tim packed up his things, ready to head home. He felt a sense of accomplishment as he walked out of the office. The second day had been much better than the first, and he was looking forward to more challenges and learning opportunities ahead. When Tim got home, he felt a wave of relief and relaxation. He kicked off his shoes and flopped down on the couch. His mom was in the kitchen preparing dinner, and the smell of roasted chicken filled the house. Hey, Tim, how was your day? His mom called out from the kitchen. It was great, Mom, Tim replied. I felt a lot more confident today. I managed to avoid mistakes, and Mr. Brown even complimented me. His mom poked her head out from the kitchen with a smile. That's fantastic to hear. I'm so proud of you. Why don't you relax for a bit? Dinner will be ready soon. Tim nodded, feeling content. He spent the next few minutes unwinding, watching his favorite TV show, and thinking about his day. He felt much more relaxed than the day before. It was nice to see that his efforts were paying off. Dinner, a family moment. Dinner was a cozy affair. Tim's mom had made his favorite meal: roasted chicken, mashed potatoes, and steamed vegetables. Tim and his mom sat down at the table, and they began to eat. As they enjoyed their meal, Tim shared more about his day. I had to organize a bunch of files and send out important emails. It was a bit tricky, but I felt really good about it. His mom listened intently. It sounds like you're learning a lot. Remember, every day is a chance to improve, and it's okay to make mistakes. The important part is to learn and keep moving forward. Tim nodded. I'm definitely going to keep that in mind. Thanks for the encouragement. After dinner, Tim helped his mom clean up the kitchen. They chatted about their day as they washed dishes and put away leftovers. It was a nice way to end the day, feeling connected and supported by his family. Nighttime routine. Preparing for tomorrow. As the evening wore on, Tim began his nighttime routine. He took a warm shower, which helped him relax and unwind. He then got into his pajamas and sat down with a book to read. Reading helped him feel calm and was a nice way to end his day. Before going to bed, Tim set out his clothes for the next day and packed his lunch. He wanted to be prepared and avoid any last-minute rushes in the morning. With everything ready, he turned off the lights and crawled into bed. As he lay there, Tim thought about how much better today had been compared to his first day. He felt proud of himself for making improvements and was excited about the days to come. He took a deep breath, feeling grateful for the support from his family and the encouragement from his boss. Tim closed his eyes and whispered to himself, "Tomorrow is going to be even better. I can do this." And with that, he drifted off to sleep, ready for whatever the next day would bring. Vocabulary list. 1. Groaned, made a low sound of. Discomfort. Example. He groaned when he heard the alarm clock. 2. Peeped, looked in a small or secret way. Example. The sun peeped through the curtains. 3. Snooze, to sleep lightly or for a short period. Example. He hit the snooze button on his alarm clock. 4. Pep talk, words of encouragement. Example. He gave himself a pep talk in the mirror. 5. Savoring, enjoying something slowly. Example. He savored every bite of his breakfast. 6. Blushed, turned red in the face from embarrassment. Example. Tim blushed when the bus driver mentioned his wallet. 7. Overwhelming, very strong or difficult to handle. Example. The amount of documents was overwhelming at